Every return has two versions. There's the gross return, the headline number the market or the fund earned. And there's the net return, what actually lands in your pocket after the costs of holding the money. People plan their whole future around the gross number, but you only ever get to spend the net. The space between the two isn't one big charge you'd notice. It's three small recurring leaks: fees, taxes, and inflation. Each looks trivial in any single year. Start with fees. A management fee or expense ratio of 1% a year sounds like a rounding error. It isn't. Because you pay it every year on your entire balance, it compounds. And over a 40-year horizon, a single 1% fee can quietly swallow about a quarter of your final nest egg. John Bogle spent his life on this one point. He launched the first index fund in 1976 precisely to drive costs towards zero, arguing that in investing, you get what you don't pay for. The fee is certain. The outperformance you're paying for usually isn't. The second leak is tax. In a taxable account, dividends and the trades a fund makes can trigger a bill every single year, money pulled out and handed over before it can keep compounding. Hold the very same fund inside a tax-sheltered retirement account, and that money stays invested and keeps working. The drag from taxes might be only 0.5% a year, but like a fee, it compounds. So over decades, the identical investment can end up tens of thousands of dollars apart, purely based on which account it lived in. Where you hold something can matter as much as what you buy. The third leak is the sneakiest, because it touches money you never move. Inflation. The number on your statement is nominal. It ignores that prices are rising underneath you. Subtract inflation and you get the real return, the number that actually buys groceries. History is blunt about this. Through the inflation of the 1970s, and again in the 2022 spike, savers watched their balances look fine while their purchasing power quietly bled. At a long-run inflation near 3% a year, a 7% nominal return is really closer to 4% real. Cash sitting safe in the bank isn't holding still. It's slowly shrinking. Now, the uncomfortable part. The leaks don't politely take turns. They stack. A 1% fee, a 0.5% of tax drag, and 3% of inflation don't simply subtract from your 7%. Each is compounding against you at the same time, year after year. The gross 7% you built your plans on can quietly become a real net return closer to 2 or 3% once all three have taken their cut. That's not a rounding error. Over a lifetime, it can be the difference between comfort and falling short. Here's the empowering twist. Remember where we started. A 7% return that quietly became far less, drained by the same three leaks: fees, taxes, and inflation. You cannot control what the market returns next year, but those three leaks are exactly the parts you can influence. You can choose the kind of low-cost index funds John Bogle pioneered and cut the fee. You can use tax-sheltered accounts and shrink the tax drag. You can stay invested in real assets instead of letting cash erode and blunt inflation. None of that requires predicting anything. It just requires noticing the leaks that everyone else ignores. So the gap between your 7% gross and what you actually keep isn't fate. It's fees, taxes, and inflation. And you have a say in all three. This is an explainer of the mechanism, not advice. Every figure is illustrative, so verify your own situation. You can't control the market,